Daniel. Siguro mas masarap doon, ano? Kasi dito, branch na lang yung dito eh. Saan ba ang main yan? Sabihin natin ha, yung exam niyo mamaya, huli na lang. Huli na lang para bago kayo, ano. Madali lang. Puro mga bugoy lang yung gagawa. Mga bugoy kami lahat eh. Ha? Okay, tignan natin ha. Kailangan wala yung pointer ito eh. Okay, so eto, this one wala akong pointer. That's the dorsal pancreas. Majority will come from the dorsal pancreas, like the body, the tail, and part of the head, no? Part of the head and the uncinate process will come from the ventral pancreas. But this dorsal pancreas actually is a evagination. It's an evagination of the foregut. So foregut ang magiging anlage nito. Unlike your ventral pancreas, wherein the anlage is your hepatic diverticulum. If a slide is shown this way, actually, this is the distal portion of the stomach, but for the stomach, we'll give you the bigger one. This one is the start of the duodenum. So both of them comes from the foregut. The upper half of the duodenum, starting from going upwards, starting from the area where the ampulla of margarine arises. From the ampulla of butter, that's the mid-duodenum. That is foregut. Below that would be the start of the midgut. And this consistency, the light one, regardless if it's cut tangentially, that light one, where you have a very big lumen, or it cut transversely where the lumen is the smaller, still will be your gallbladder. So the anlage of your gallbladder is hepatic diverticulum. For all the GIT, the germ layer of origin is endoderm. Although the endoderm will actually give you the lining epithelium and the associated glands that comes from the lining epithelium, but it is the endoderm that will stimulate the surrounding mesoderm to form your gut, and that's the reason why if you are asked for the germ layer of origin, it would be endoderm. But if the question is, say for example, the stomach arises from the endoderm, the mesoderm, both or neither, then that would be both. But if you're given only one choice, that would be your endoderm. And this consistency is your liver. Now, liver. We avoid giving structures that you don't need, like this one and this one and this one, because we don't want you to get confused. So you leave it at that. We'll go into that when we need them. When you go to the urinary system, we'll go into that. That will only serve, you just have to memorize through your mind how it looks. It's better if you don't memorize the name. The problem if you know the name is, it comes out as an answer in the exam already, which will be wrong. Just memorize that the structure is that way. No name for the meantime. Huh? So this is another view. See if this is shown or this is shown. That means that somebody has moved the pointer because we are not yet into that. So whenever you don't know the answer, you just raise your hand. It's probably somebody move it. Identify? See, gallbladder. Look at the consistency of the other layers. This will be the epithelial layer, and these are the other layers, supposedly becoming the different parts of your gallbladder, and they are always associated with your liver. These are actually blood cells, but you don't need this because this is a hematopoietic organ at the very early stage. That's why you see blood all over, including the peritoneum. Well, you don't need to know that. What you don't know won't hurt, right? Identify? So that is the herniated intestinal loop. Part of the intestine that is herniated is either the ileum or the jejunum or both. So they are coming from the midgut. So the anlage will be the midgut. Simple lang yung susulat nyo. Pagka ganyan, ha? Identify structure. That would be your ileum, your herniated intestinal loop. Anlage would be your midgut. Germ layer of origin would be endoderm. Fate would be either ileum or jejunum. Ganun lang isusulat nyo para the less that will come into your mind, the better and faster will it you to remember during the exam. This is the second advice after your first prelim. When you go and take your practical, you must be well rested. You must be well rested. Although even in theoretical, you must be well rested also. It is imperative and a must that in a practical, you must be well rested. Otherwise, what do you call your blackout? So in here, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, either this, we don't need this. We need this structure. And what is this? Esophagus. Remember, there is the lung. And therefore, that organ could not be the stomach because you're still in the thoracic cavity. Your stomach doesn't go to the thoracic cavity. That's the esophagus. There will be slides wherein both the trachea and the esophagus together with the lungs are visualized, depending on the cut. Remember, you are cutting your embryo serially. And then you have again your... Say for example, the pointer is here. Actually, this is your inferior vena cava. But we are not yet into that. We'll go into that when we go to the vascular system. So your answer will be liver if that is one is pointed. This is so you have a lot of vessels here, but you don't need to know that. You only have to need your liver. Fate, of course, it would be the liver, not spread, just liver. And then the anlage would be hepatic diverticulum. So that would be the type of specimen that we will give you if you want the stomach. And for sure, stomach will be there as a bonus. It would be a bonus question. Anlage would be forgot. Fate would be stomach also. So here you see this structure, which is a blood vessel, this urinary structure, this respiratory structure, this is your liver, and you need again your esophagus. Do not answer trachea. We're not yet into trachea. Even if you think it's the trachea, do not answer trachea, because you have not taken trachea yet in the embryology, right? Not yet. Soon to come. Again, this is another view of the herniated intestinal loop. See, if we point here, that means somebody move it, because we don't need to know your umbilical cord. We just have to know your... We'll go back to the umbilical cord later. We just want this herniated intestinal loop. Herniated intestinal loop. This is another view without the lungs. You now see your trachea and your esophagus. That is your developing spinal cord. So this is posterior. That is anterior. This is developing heart. Yeah. That is your trachea. Trachea. For sure. I'm sorry. Esophagus. For sure. Nalito tuloy ako. You're sure esophagus will also come out? Nadadalian ba kayo dyan? O mahirap? Mahirap. Huwag nyo nang dugtungan ng primitive. Pharynx na lang. Pharynx. It also comes from the foregut. Ito yung stomodium. Narinig kita. Ayan. Stomodium. So that's the primitive oral pit. That's the unlage. The face is the oral cavity. This time it is ectoderm.